Tonight on the Northwestern News Report, rallying at the Rock, how students are mobilizing after Wednesday's shooting just steps from campus.
Spotlighting South Asian culture, how one student production brings together Bollywood dancing, comedy, and community.
And with age comes wisdom and also artistic talent. We introduce you to the ladies behind a project paving new opportunities for women over 50. All that and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news
right now.
Hello and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Bridget Adu-Wadier.
And I'm Andrew Rowan. The person who shot and killed an 18-year-old and injured two 15-year-olds just steps from campus is still at large. Earlier today, we asked Evanston police if they had any update on their investigation. All they told us is that it's ongoing.
The shooting took place on Clark Street Beach last Wednesday. All three victims were Skokie residents, including 18-year-old Jacques Irby. The former Evanston Township High School student has died.
And tonight we're hearing more from Mayor Daniel Biss. In a community letter Monday, Biss wrote, quote, "This is a horrifying reminder of the importance of our violence prevention work." He says the city is preparing for summer when school is out of session. The Parks, Recreation, and Community Service Department will all have additional programming. The mayor also says the police department will increase its patrol on the Lakeville.
But the mayor says that at the heart of this issue is access to guns. Students Demand Action rallied against gun violence on Friday.
Our Gabrielle Coriati was at the Rock to take a look at their demands for a safer future.
None of us knew, none of us imagined that a week later, our lives would be irreparably altered by the same violence that we were protesting.
Northwestern students demand action, calling for change after a shooting on Clark Street Beach just south of campus left one teenager dead and two others injured.
We've just been trying to organize while also processing everything that happened.
Demanding gun violence prevention and answers for the 30-minute gap between the shooting and when students received communication from NU.
Another thing includes security measures. I know a lot of people were in areas where they did not feel safe. They couldn't lock doors.
In an email to students Thursday, Northwestern University President Michael Schill saying we need to shorten the communication gap, and they're reviewing their response to, quote, ensure we do better when the next incident happens.
Not have had to take a shooting by the edge of our campus for the school to start discussing updates.
Some NU administrators showing their support at the rally.
I'm proud of these students for the work that they're doing.
And attendees sharing their experiences as survivors of last week's shooting.
We were in a wide open space and the gunshots felt like they were getting closer and closer because they were.
Or the shooting last summer in Highland Park that left 7 dead.
The main way that I cope with what happened is my advocacy, and it does actively help me. And so when this happened, I was partially in survivor mode.
Students Demand Action planning Friday's rally before last week's shooting.
That is the nature of the world in which we live now.
But their original focus, launching a campaign to request transparency on if any of Northwestern's endowment is invested in the gun industry.
Funneling money into this industry that actively kills us is only hurting the situation.
Northwestern University spokesperson John Yates did not respond to NNN's request for comment regarding the campaign and if any of NU's endowment goes to the gun industry. Northwestern and the surrounding community coming together.
Gun violence is a horrible disease. It doesn't just affect the patients, it affects their families, it affects an entire community.
With a message of hope amid tragedy.
Having faith actually is the key to change.
Gabrielle joins us now in studio. So Gabrielle, Students Demand Action, they are wanting the university to divest from the gun industry, but what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so divestment, primarily what they're looking for is they want transparency. They want to know, does Northwestern have any investments in the gun industry? And if they do, they want Northwestern to get rid of any stocks, bonds, or investment funds in any gun-related companies. Now, like I mentioned, I did reach out to Northwestern University spokesperson John Yates for comment, but have not heard back.
Gabrielle, thank you. I know you'll continue to keep an eye on this for us. Bridget, over to you.
Northwestern says that right now they're increasing campus police patrols. Some students say that's not the answer. A group rallied at the Rock just a short time ago, and they're asking the university to meet a list of demands to better support Black students. NNN's Julia Richardson was there.
That's right. In front of University Hall today, student activists and supporters gathered to lay out a list of demands that they say will help support Black students. In 1968, a group of Black students known as the B100 took over the bursar's office with a list of demands. Now, almost 55 years later, student activists say some of these demands have still not been met, including the university presenting an official statement acknowledging institutional racism on campus and increasing scholarship opportunities. Now, students are laying out their own demands. They say that Black students should be consulted when it comes to decisions about the Black House and want an immediate 10% increase in funding for Black student-led and centered organizations. Additionally, students say the university's response to last week's shooting was inadequate, and an increased police presence does not make them feel safe.
Life for Black students is a lot better than it was, in the 1960s. But it's just still really sad to see that we don't really have a hand in saying what does or doesn't happen to us here on campus.
Organizers also say that they are planning another action for later this week and, quote, "This is just the beginning." In front of the Rock, Julia Richardson, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Julia. We reached out to the university for a response on that petition. A spokesperson said that they haven't received it, but when it is sent, the university will, quote, "review and respond." Protest organizers tell NNN they are planning on sending it tonight. Turning now to the Associated Student Government election. Did you vote? Probably not. Donovan Cusick and Molly Whalen were elected after running unopposed. Only 166 people voted for them. 9 others voted no confidence. The election turnout was the lowest in 14 years. In the last uncontested election in 2019, over 850 people voted. The ASG election commissioner said he wasn't certain what contributed to the reduced turnout. The candidates say it doesn't change their motivations in pursuing the role.
From the student government election to the Evanston election, about 4,500 Evanston residents may be casting their ballots in a different ward next election. That's because a city committee is redrawing the boundaries of Evanston's 9 wards. And a few days ago, they released their new map proposal. And if you're wondering why should I care, well, NNN's Logan Schijano tells us why.
For 20 years, Evanston's map has looked like this. But in a few months, it could look something like this. Evanston forming a redistricting committee in response to 2020 census data that showed significant population deviation between its wards, meaning each person's vote isn't equal.
What we found after the 2020 census is our total deviation is greater than 20%. So very clearly, according to the federal guidelines, we do have to redistrict here in Evanston.
The committee's striving to maintain the city's 3 majority non-white wards and have downtown represented by multiple wards. It's all part of what committee chair Jonathan Newsma says is an incremental approach to drawing the new map.
We're moving a few blocks here and there to balance the numbers to get through this process with minimal fuss.
Before unveiling its proposed map, the committee holding a series of town halls and meetings with each ward.
Nobody even put a mouse to a screen until we did a really robust and thoughtful public engagement process.
But 3rd Ward resident Carl Klein says that process hasn't gone far enough.
Those meetings have not been well attended. They've not been well advertised. I don't think that the council members, elected officials, should be drawing the map.
Newsma responding to these concerns.
We're not trying to advance any kind of political objectives.
And the proposed new map could affect students on campus too. Students living south of Lunt Hall could become part of the 1st Ward, where students on North Campus will remain in the 7th Ward. So depending on where you live, you could have new representatives on City Council.
And Logan joins us here on set. So this is all playing out right now on City Council, but have we been in this redistricting process before?
We have, Andrew, but it's been quite a long time here in Evanston. The last time was back in 2003 after the 2000 census came out. Former alder people calling that process painful, costly, and long, Andrew. They were able to avert the redistricting back in 2010 because the city population deviation was slightly below that 16.4% threshold. But moving forward in the 2023 redistricting, Residents are able to comment publicly on the proposed changes via a form on the City of Evanston's website. If everything goes as planned, the redistricting committee hopes that all of this can be finalized by later this summer.
Logan, thank you.
With summer just 2 months away, NU students are looking for places to stay. NNN's Luis Castañeda tells us about a new website from 2 Northwestern students that aims to help ease the subletting process.
Weinberg's second year, Bella Lesage, was frustrated about finding summer housing this time last year.
It was like during finals, like people were stressed about a million things, and it was just seemed like there needed to be a solution.
There were Facebook groups, group chats, friends of friends, filled with students looking for apartments and students looking to rent their own.
There's just nothing connecting both groups.
After seeing other friends struggling with the same issue, Lesage contacting McCormick's second year, Alexis Robles, to work on a solution. Host U, platform made for students to easily purchase housing from one another. Robles finding himself overcome by the new project, coding the entire site in March.
What people don't expect is that there's no time when you're not thinking about it.
He says the project keeps him on his feet.
I had a call from one of my friends who experienced a bug with the system, and I immediately rushed to the nearest library, got on my computer, and just fixed the bug in like 5 minutes.
What sets the website apart from competitors is its university affiliation step.
We're trying to create this service that enables trust, disables the ability for fraud.
And many students are eager to use it.
Every single person I tell is like, can you finish it already? Can you help me?
They're looking to expand to major cities across the U.S., but currently they're only serving the Chicago and Evanston areas. Luis Castañeda, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Luis.
Well, Evanston's public libraries are celebrating their 150th birthday. The Free Public Library was created at the time by a unanimous vote. This year, the Evanston Public Library will host a wide variety of events, from a readathon to 150 things to do this summer. Coordinator Jeanette Sturgis encourages everyone to check out the events and enjoy.
150 years of connecting, and it's 150 years of connecting to the community in so many different ways. The Evanston Public Library really aims to be the hub of the entire community, connecting people to resources that already exist here in Evanston and beyond.
Information on upcoming events can be found on the website epl.org/150. Coming up next, a speaker event is spurring a conversation about religious discrimination. Hear from the students who planned this interfaith dialogue straight ahead.
And later, we take a look at how a specific Evanston community finds ways to express their creativity.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Next tonight, Northwestern's Hindu Yuva and Om co-hosted a speaker event to spread awareness about discrimination and give Hindu students a space to make their voices heard. NNN's Lena Peterson explored this meaningful interfaith dialogue.
Hindu students finding a way to share their personal experiences with Northwestern's community.
So it felt really empowering to be a voice for the entire community and to be able to share the things that go on that not everyone might know about.
The evening helping to make their voices heard and discussing their experiences with Hindu phobia.
Especially in a college campus where things like faith, sometimes aren't really well accepted by a large portion of the student body.
And a place to come together with other Hindu students.
I've seen such a big transition of precisely being no Hindu representation on campus to being such a huge presence.
For non-Hindu students, this event serving as a way to learn more about the Hindu experience.
Motivation to come and show my support and maybe show a little bit of allyship.
Placing emphasis on interfaith dialogue, representatives from Hillel and the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life attending the event.
In times of when a community feels attacked, I think it's really important that you have your community, but also other, similar communities coming out to support.
A night of interfaith dialogue and religious acceptance.
When we have all, faiths that are present, it shows that there's a strong bond of unity between all different faiths on campus.
Bringing communities together. Lena Peterson, Northwestern News Network.
A great look at an interfaith dialogue in action. Thanks, Lena.
Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, which occurred on April 19, 1943. And to commemorate Holocaust Remembrance Day, Northwestern Hillel is distributing yellow daffodils at Norris. The flowers are a global tradition that signify the largest uprising by Jews during World War II.
You've heard about students using AI to help with their education, but what about the other way around? NNN's Sabrina Carson explores how one student group aims to teach proper online ethics to AI users.
AI, or artificial intelligence, is a rapidly growing technology.
AI in general is going to play even a bigger role in our daily lives.
AI engines like ChatGPT and DALL-E offer users the ability to generate writing, art, and more from simple prompts.
AI really is a lot of math implemented with code that does things that are valuable to us humans.
Blake Ying-Hu is the project's committee chair for RAISO, short for Responsible AI Student Organization. RAISO educates Northwestern students on the social impacts of AI.
We have education and ethics discussions. We have technical workshops on machine learning. We publish a weekly newsletter.
Ying-Hu says not all RAISO members study computer science.
We have so many different majors and backgrounds represented, and I think that really makes for lively discussions about the impacts and ethics behind AI.
Ian Lay, RAISO's newsletter executive, says the rise of AI technology should include more social impact education, including recognizing misinformation and learning how to protect from hacking.
AI is extremely beneficial for society, but there's also cons and there's also ethical considerations you have to make when using AI in a responsible way.
Bringing human morals to artificial tech. Sabrina Carson, Northwestern News Network.
An important lesson for the new AI age. Thanks, Sabrina. And coming up, we take you behind the scenes of a South Asian-inspired musical comedy.
And will we be getting more Lakeville weather days like this one, or will you need to keep out your coat? I'll have the forecast after the break.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Over the weekend, Shanley Auditorium hosted the latest show from Vertigo Productions, The Thing About the Dream. NNN's Kunjal Bastola takes us behind the scenes of the student-written comedy.
The Thing About the Dream brings viewers through the past and present of Rekha, a gay immigrant from Bangalore who wants to pursue comedy.
The play follows Rekha in two versions of herself. So one version in 2018 and one version of herself in 2022.
Third-year Mantra Radhakrishnan is from Bangalore like Rekha. She says she was interested by the idea of code switching, or how accents and personalities differ based on the people and situation a person is in.
I kind of wanted to explore that, language and assimilation and code switching.
Radhakrishnan hopes the audience will laugh at the jokes and resonate with the characters that come to life on the stage.
I'm excited to hopefully hear people laugh and recognize parts of themselves in this.
The show, which was put on right here in Shanley, incorporated a variety of elements, including Bollywood dance numbers.
I love all the scenes with dances in them.
And for many of the cast and crew, bonding over their shared experiences in a show spotlighting their cultures.
As one of very few South Asian theater majors, I just saw this as such a great opportunity to kind of work with a cast of people who have had experiences that are both similar and different from mine.
Watching the audience's reactions is a highlight of the production.
We're going to surprise the audience, and the audience is going to surprise us.
Laughter, dance, and hard work, that's the thing about the dream. Kunjal Bastola, Northwestern News Network.
Looks like a great show. Thanks, Kunjal.
The McCormick School of Engineering's personal development courses are being offered as a new certificate for the entire Northwestern community starting this fall. NNN's Jonas Blum gives us a sneak peek at what's in store.
Improv, emotional intelligence, and life planning? These are not your typical engineering courses.
PATH is an opportunity to teach students kind of how they perform in a holistic way.
PATH, short for Personal Academic Tactical Help, is the first in a series of personal expression courses, forming McCormick's Curious Life Certificate, launching in fall 2023.
So looking at a combination of both how you think, how you feel, and what you do.
Emotional Intelligence 101 is a required course in the certificate where students learn the psychology behind their actions.
There's a lot about my life that is only true because I went through PATH.
McCormick's second year Victor Agaba says the class taught memorable lessons.
And he uses this analogy of a flashlight, like your intention. Your attention is like a flashlight, and switching on that flashlight, pointing it in a particular direction, is expressing your intention to focus on that.
And gave students new ways to believe in themselves.
What PATH did first and foremost was make me believe that it's okay to go through chaos.
PATH stems from a conversation Holt Grieve had with an engineering student's father.
He said if we can't help her find a path that leads to success, her only opportunity is to fail.
Helping students understand themselves in this curious life. Jonas Blum, Northwestern News Network.
Students can inquire about the new program through the McCormick Advising System at mas.mccormick.northwestern.edu.
Turning now to your weather. It's what everyone is talking about. Over the weekend, it was 85 degrees, and yesterday, it snowed. Gabrielle Coriati joins us now with the forecast. Gabrielle, I don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to say. This week, the weather has certainly been interesting. It's been a roller coaster, and it's not getting smooth anytime soon. Let's take a look at what the weather looked like this weekend. So if you take a look here, you should be seeing a picture of me and my roommates outside on Saturday. Now, one of my friends said to me, our very own Julia Richardson, she says she knows it's spring when she sees me outside on that lawn. Now, whether you can believe it or not, 36 hours after this picture was taken, it snowed. But let's take a look at what it looked like today, and let's look at today's weather. So right now it's 51 degrees out, and it was sunny all throughout today. The low was 34 and the high was 35. So not quite that sit out on the lake fill weather, but it certainly wasn't the freezing temperatures and snow. We're hoping that was the last snow of the season, but let's look at what the weather's going to look like tomorrow. Tomorrow the temperatures are getting a bit warmer. It's going to be 61 degrees. But it's going to storm. We're supposed to see a 30% chance of rain throughout the day. But if you keep going then to Thursday, the storms get even worse. Students really should be packing their rain jackets, packing their umbrellas throughout the rest of the week. But what do students really care about? They care about the weekend's weather. If you take a look at the weekend's weather, it's definitely not the weekend to be going out on an adventure or sitting outside. Friday, the high is 61, and that's the warmest day of the weekend. On Saturday, you'll be seeing rain, and it'll be 47 degrees. There's a 50% chance of rain, so it's definitely not the ideal temperatures. Sunday gets a little bit better. It'll still be cloudy, but at least it won't be raining. So I'm hoping to see more warm temperatures this next coming weeks up after that and all throughout May. But right now, it might be better to stay indoors.
Gabrielle, thank you. We got a little bit of, wasn't the 70 that was on there once? I mean, I feel like people are at least getting more work done this week than they were last week.
Definitely. I know I can't get any readings done when I'm out on the lakefront or on the beach having fun with friends. So I guess it's a lucky chance.
Yeah, everyone says they're going to go out to the lakefront to do work, but no one's actually doing any work. All right, coming up in just 60 seconds, we're going to introduce you to the women behind an artistic project that is defying age stereotypes. Don't go away.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, a group of women over the age of 50 are discovering new opportunities in the arts. NNN's Naya Reyes gives us a backstage pass on how this local initiative is pushing against age limitations.
You either get to be old or you get to be dead. And I'd rather be old.
The Old Lady Project, founded by Chicagoland residents Angela Allen and Joan Mazzanelli, is an initiative to create spaces in the arts for women over 50.
It was dealing with the fact that older women or people over 50 were really having a hard time getting really substantial parts in the theater.
Allen credits this struggle to national culture.
So much of the imagery and media just keeps putting young people.
And she has proof to back it. According to the Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media, the majority of screen characters age 50 and up are men. And in order to combat this issue, the Old Lady Project will put on readings of scripts centered around older women.
She got over 600 scripts and whittled down to just under 10. And we came up with a selection of not quite a half a dozen. So Grandmothers Inc. is the first presentation, the first staged reading.
The playwrights for Grandmothers Incorporated, a story about 4 women whose weekend getaway goes wrong, share the same message as the project.
Because life does not stop at 50. It doesn't stop at 55. There are millions of vital, important women who are older.
Allen and Mazzanelli received some pushback from community members to using the word old, but they say their goal is simply for people to know one thing.
Your story's worth hearing. You know, whatever stage of life you're at.
Embracing life after 50, Naya Reyes, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Naya. I think that's just so lovely that they are able to be on the stage and just have that courage to be creative. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, it takes courage at any age to get onto the stage in front of people, and I love that so many people sent in scripts for the program.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to more stories being told, featuring a diverse group of ages. And yeah, I think it really speaks to how people are looking to make theater more diverse.
Yeah, and I love just seeing everyone get involved and everyone supporting them in the community. So that's going to do it for us on this week's edition of the Northwestern News Report.
Be sure to stay tuned for Politicat coming up next.
I'm Andrew Rowan.
And I'm Bridget Adu-Wadier. Have a great night.